I think my biggest frustration around the current state of the video generation model is the promise. I just don't see how you can achieve it with closed APIs. So we're living in this gap where on one hand, we can create a really cool appearance. On the other hand, we're far from the level of control that professionals in the field demand. Before Lightricks, I spent a bunch of years in academia. Most of my research was somewhere on the border between computer graphics and image processing. In Lightricks, for many years, that's basically what we did. And in 2022, we realized that the way we are creating and polishing pixels is about to change because diffusion models provided a completely new paradigm in how we can create content. Artificial intelligence can augment human creativity and human intelligence. What concerns me is that someone else will own my augmentation. I prefer to have AI running on my own hardware, on my own terms. I want to make the ethical consideration with the broad community of creators and not offload these considerations to a selected group of people with their own interests in mind. We decided in some point to place a bunch of architectural and engineering bets and made LTX a model that's both cheaper to train without sacrificing quality. It is possible to train AI models at a fraction of the cost, and it's definitely possible to run a whole lot of it on the edge devices. So that's what we're trying to do with LTX. You can get a preview in a matter of seconds on consumer hardware, nail down the important things of your project, and once you have that, send it to the cloud, to the rendering farm in order to render things, say at 4K with a high frame rate, etc. Now you know what you're spending your money on. Now it's just a matter of maximizing the quality of the final output.
Some guardians test patience, not strength.
Since it's very important for us to make sure that our model runs really well on a consumer device, it was very important for us to make sure that we leverage the latest and greatest from NVIDIA. We partnered with them in order to do the best possible quantization that can be done at the moment. And also, Comfy is one of the most interesting prototyping tools that are out there. So we are working closely with them in order to make sure there is a native support on day one for the model.
Focus, close your eyes, and just flap.
Think about a great composers of the past. No one thinks about the guys who created their musical instrument or pianos. We are really content being the tool makers. We want to give the model, we want to give the infrastructure, we want to build a vibrant community. You want people to build completely new experiences on top of the model. You want them to be able to run it locally. You want to give researchers the abilities to improve the model. It benefits us, it benefits community, it benefits humanity, so it's win-win-win. I think at the moment when you're looking at the world of creativity, the budget constraints is felt everywhere. And these budget constraints limit creativity. The end result of that is that we're taking less creative bets. This idea that you can treat video production using, this more of the classical animation perspective, where you figure out what the keyframes are, and then with way less effort in the past, you're gonna get the final animation. I think bigger parts of the existing production pipelines are gonna run on new iteration of rendering engines, which are AI diffusion models. LTX-2 marks a meaningful shift in what's accessible to researchers, creators, and builders. That's why today we are releasing the weights to everyone, and we're putting LTX-2 in your hands.